What's going on, y'all? Today is Monday, July 3rd. Me and Pops back in the shop, and we're working on the factory stock again today. I had a bunch of content saved that I have been trying to pull from other videos and stuff over the past few weeks, and I don't know what I done, and I cannot get to any of that content. I don't know if I deleted it or what. I've been trying some new software on the laptop, and of course y'all know I record my phone, and it's just transferring to the laptop is not hard, but whatever I done in the laptop, I lost all that content. So Pops and I are back in the shop today, and we're gonna get busy on the factory stock. Grinding disc fell off, and we've got a lot of parts that come in, and I'll show y'all everything we've got that came in and what we're gonna work on. And it's just the finishing touches of everything. It's motor mounts, radiator mount, battery, stuff like that, the little things. And once we get this stuff done, we'll be done. So I know we've been saying that. We've been talking about being done with all the chassis stuff. And man, we're ready to get this thing to powder coat. Sorry for the fan noise. It's a little warm. It's thundering, lightning storming. And so if there's a little noise in the background, I'm sorry. So we're just, we're gonna get busy today. Y'all hang out with us. Alrighty. So, what we got going on today is, y'all see, shout out to our buddies at Bryke Racing. We've got all of our steering knuckles, as y'all see here. Steering heims, oversized for 3/4 steering shaft, a straight for the steering shaft. Doug McElroy, our local parts guy, I went out there and got this radiator mount, and got some body tabs and all from him. He was out of steering shaft, so we'll have to get some of that later this week in order to be able to do the steering. But what we did get were these mid mounts. We got these from Bryke Racing as well, and we got those bolted on without the bell housing in there, just so we can mock up mounts to the frame. That's what we're about to make right now. And as y'all can see, we got the motor level, and we are going to make those mounts at a 1/4 inch flat bar that's 1 inch wide. As close as we are to the frame, we're not that far. I mean, that's the width of my finger. So as close as we are to the frame, and this being flat right here, we're going to take that flat bar and just come straight out with it. And then I'm going to put 2 gussets, one on each side of that flat bar, up and down, and that'll give us plenty of strength for these to sit on right here. So that's what we're going to work on right now. Pops and I just got the motor bolted back in there. We were using these tabs from A&A. These are the thick tabs. Both of these together are 350 thousandths, 355 thousandths. And we had those under the motor mounts because we were test fitting headers. We borrowed these headers from a friend of ours close by, Cody Howard. We appreciate Cody letting us borrow these. He is putting together a metric street factory stock as well. And he was going to be out of town this week, so he let us borrow his new headers to test fit on our car. And that we've had them in there and we've had them off. So we just wanted to make sure that they cleared the mid mounts and the bell housing and everything, which they do. And we have a Saginaw. Y'all seen in the little short video I posted the other day, if you watched it, I said that we were loaned a Saginaw. This is from another local guy, Hunter Huddleston. We appreciate Hunter for letting us borrow his spare trans. And once we get these mid mounts finished up here in a little bit, we'll be able to put the Saginaw on the bell housing and bolt that in there all together, and we can see where our drive shaft loop and stuff needs to be toward the back, and we can get all that finished up. I think the crossbar that we have underneath the bottom of the chassis is going to be in the right spot, and but we'll put that trans in there, bolt it to the bell housing, and get all that in there so we can make sure. And first thing I'm going to do is get this battery box mounted. This is a weld-on battery box, come from Bryke Racing. And Pops and I have decided that we're going to hang it on the right rear. I don't know why I came over to the left rear. We are going to hang this right in here and slide it over against this little 1.25 inch bar right here. And the reason for that is, y'all know I'm not a small guy, so I'll be on the left side, and we have enough setback in the roll cage to where we got a pretty good bit going on over the left rear. But if we need to add lead over here, we can put lead over there, and that lead will be heavier than the battery. So we're going to mount the battery right here. It'll be easy to get to. We can just lean over. There'll be an access panel for it, so that ain't no problem. We were going to mount it right here, but we would have to put another bar in to catch the bottom of the battery box and to weld it in good. And then the body will be all the way out to here, so it would be kind of aggravating reaching all the way over into here. So that's what we're going to work on today. I've got to get some of this welded up right here first before we get that battery box in here and it covers all this up to where I can't get to it. So I'm going to get all this welded first, get that battery box over in here and get it welded. And then we'll move on to making our mid mounts. So y'all hang out with us. All right, y'all. I've got the phone over here on the tripod. I'm trying to keep it out of the path of the fan so the wind noise is not real high. So I've got it zoomed in pretty good. I'm going to leave it on real time while I weld that right there and put that battery box in. Just thunder. I'm going back here by the protector. Bars in the way. now. Horrible. So it started to be raining by now. What do you call it? Well, it was raining in my store. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah. Go back and I'll buy it back. Oh yeah. That'll ride. If it don't, we got a problem. Yeah. Socket. Oh. Let's go water go. Yeah. Got to legally get like 2 inches of oil down there, all over here, so it'll help hold it. Have enough room to hook the front of that side. Put the burr in there. Oh yeah. As y'all can see, that's what I was having to do is weld around that plate we put on that spring pocket, and then weld that 1¼ bar all the way solid, because we slid that battery box all the way over against it. So, but all that's welded, and the box is welded in. Shouldn't go nowhere now. So, like I said, the lead we put on here will be heavier than that battery, so we can move lead around where we want it. And we know we're going to have lead because we have to weigh 3,200 pounds. So, ain't no big deal. We'll get it worked out. But that's it for the battery box. Now we're going to move to the front. We're going to knock out these mid-mount motor mounts. with y'all. As y'all can see, we pulled the motor out just then. And there's the mounts from the back. I had to wash her up on them because our bolts were too long. We've got to get some more 3/8 short bolts. But I was going to show y'all. We got our 1/4 inch welded on there. I do have a gusset on back of both of these. And you just can't see it. there it is. But I couldn't get to the front of them with the motor in there, so we're going to clean the frame up real good. We're going to put a gusset on the front side. I'm going to weld all of it up solid. And then I'm going to go ahead and weld up the motor mount solid because we just got those tacked on. But now we got everything where we need it. We're going to go ahead and weld everything up because it's going to have a lot of weight on it when we go to put the transmission and bell housing and all in there with it. So we could probably bolt that transmission all to it out here and go in at once. So just make it easier on us to have to fight it under the car. So
be a lot easier to get to.
While the motor's out too, Daddy, I'm going to go ahead and weld those bars while we got the motor out. Which I know we're going to pull the motor out eventually again. But
it's already got it.
Yeah. While I'm in there welding, I'll just keep on welding. But that's where we're at. Pop's going to clean that frame up. I'm going to leave it on real time while we get all this welded up. I just wanted to do that time lapse because I wasn't sure how long it would take us to make those pieces. It actually didn't take us long. It worked out really good. So we're going to keep on trucking. Y'all hang out.
See it. I'm just hitting at it. Because I don't know. I can't get over far enough to look down in there to. Yeah. I'm gonna get this out of the way a little more. Gotcha. Get over in there. Get over in there. Woo. Yeah. Oh, you hit it right on. Okay. You thought it was, but I couldn't go. He's right on it. And I can't reach from over there. Over here. I got to turn the grinder and get the hit. So, I may have to do it with me or to go up from the bottom. Oh, yeah. Hey, well, this while you're over in there. Okay. I wouldn't do you like that. But there's another goose egg on the back. You think it looks plain? Yeah.
Huh? Ooh, buddy. There's the India. You got time food. That green well good. In the grinder. Looks good off of it. I'm gonna trim these motor mounts off a little bit where they stick out the front.
Yeah, well,
Y'all ever seen a kid that won't do something by themselves, but when other kids come around, they go do it? You know, it's like they get up the courage. That's the way that dog is right there.
I know it.
Thundering and raining, she'll want to run in the house and cry. Another dog will show up, they out there playing in the rain. I thought that was funny.
It's a dog.
Yeah, I need them. I'll say about one. Yeah. Got two of them. That's good. Start raining now. He's all welded now. It's all welded now. Yeah. Raining harder, you got to come in here and get out of the rain. Go to the grinder. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do with the welder too. For me, for now. All right, y'all. We got all that welded up. I'll zoom in. Y'all can see where I put the gusset on that one, and well, you can't see this other side, but anyway, just believe me, it's got gusset on each side of it. It's all welded solid, so it's gonna be just fine because it's short. It's not sticking way out, so it's going to be plenty beefy enough to hold the back of that motor. And with all these front motor mounts welded solid, everything will be all right. So I'm going to throw it back up on time lapse for now. Pops and I are going to get this transmission bolted to this bell housing, and we're going to get the whole motor and trans sitting over in the car, and that way we can look at some drive shaft loop and shifter location and stuff like that. So y'all hang out. right, y'all. Well, we're a little bit further now. The mock-up engine is over in there, and it's solely sitting on motor mounts. There's nothing holding it. The trans, it looks good in the tunnel. We are going to have to cut our bar that goes underneath the chassis. The way that the engine and all is angled, you know, for drive line angle, I guess you could call it, is the technical term. We're going to have to cut our brace because it goes straight across the bottom. We're going to cut it, and we're going to bend a piece to weld in that kind of gives it a little U shape, and then we'll put a drive shaft loop on top. That way it'll protect me at the top of the tunnel, but that bottom loop part, we're going to kind of make it like an underslung. Kind of how we talk about it, and that'll give the drive shaft enough clearance. And then we will have to cut the floor pan like we were talking about. We're going to have to cut up to about right there, and then we're going to make a box that comes back to right here to the front of the seat. Our shifter will mount right in here, but that box will give them the rods enough clearance to go all the way up to the linkages right up there. So they got plenty of clearance up there in the wide part of that tunnel. That's no big deal. We're just going to make sure they have enough clearance back here and nothing can bind or get in a bind or whatever. So, well, that's where we're at. Y'all, we're moving right along. Pretty much all we like right now is doing that drive shaft loop. And I'll be honest with you, we may do that when we flip it upside down. It'll be a lot easier to work on. And we know we got to have clearance. So, yeah, we'll just get everything else welded up and flip it up. When we're welding the bottom, we'll go ahead and cut and figure all that out in the bottom. And that's no big deal. The only thing we like up here is our radiator mount. And that's no big deal. Like I said, we're just going to put some square tubing in there. We know the radiator we're going to be running is 19 inches tall. So we'll pretty much center that 19 inches in the center of this water pump in that fan. And we'll just make our mount the height we need to keep that radiator where it needs to be. So we got our battery box mounted. Steering, that's our next thing. Hopefully we have the parts for it tomorrow, July 4th. We got a good friend, Trey Horton, that's going to give us a box and a quickener. So that'll help us out. We should have that stuff this week. Tomorrow, if not tomorrow, then this week. And we'll get the steering knocked out. We'll get the radiator mount knocked out. Get it welded up, flipped upside down, welded. And to be honest with you, I think that's about it.
Drill out a few holes?
Yep, drill out a few holes. Well, you talking about control arm holes? Well, I say we drill them after powder coat. Got way if powder coat gets in them, we can just drill them out. And, yeah, yep.
Okay.
So we got a few more holes to patch up, the body mount holes and stuff. We're going to throw some 18 gauge over. And we've got a hole there. That was a factory hole that we're going to cover up. And just tidy up some stuff and get this thing welded up. Once we get it welded up, these couple of mounts finished up, we'll be headed to powder coat. We're knocking it on out. But I think that's going to be it for this video. It's been not really a long afternoon for us. It's just been, we kind of been just kind of a steady pace. And I looked this morning, I think we had 845 subscribers. So we thank all you people for subscribing. We thank all the new subscribers. If y'all haven't seen all the videos from this build, we're doing a factory stock build series. I think this build series video is going to be part 23, I think. So once we get the chassis built and get it powder coated, we won't do the build series anymore. We'll just do videos of us putting it together. So, but for now, we're going to call it a day. Kind of relax. We hope everybody has a safe 4th of July. I know it's been hot. It's been brutally hot here. That's, to be honest with you, that's why Pops and I haven't been down here a whole lot the past couple of days. It's been around 100 degrees with a heat index of 110, 115. So it's brutal.
Yeah.
But
Feel sorry for all you guys down around Louisiana.
yeah, Texas. Yeah, it's hot.
All that in there. I know y'all have some.
Yeah, we know there's hotter places than here. So, but today it wasn't bad. Pops and I had some parts, and we wanted to get down here and get some stuff knocked out. Because, man, we want to get this thing done. And I know y'all are probably tired of hearing us say that, but we are ready to see this thing with color on it, because we know it's going to look good. And then we can start really doing the details, get the chassis rolling, get it wired, get it plumbed, and really start paying attention to the fine details and building a nice race car. So we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Can't thank y'all enough for watching. If y'all will, please like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos, please. But we're going to call it. And until next time.
Appreciate it, guys, gals. Appreciate y'all watching. Until next time, God bless you.
See y'all.